Hello everybody, welcome to Jet Central, welcome to Jets TV here where it's Jets all the time, but we also always have to remember it's unbiased sports talk. As usual, I'm here in my Jets hoodie, no Mark Sanchez tee right now. We're going through I got tons of Jets, apparel, so I'm just going to start wearing whatever I feel like that says Jets, whatever I want to do. As always, guys, please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, and like the videos, please. I answer every single comment. I hit everybody back, whether you're on Facebook or you're, or you hit me up in my inbox or you comment on YouTube. I answer every single comment, positive, negative, whatever. It really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and get into my recap of my Week 7 picks. I want to start with Chicago versus Tampa Bay. I took Chicago in this game and I won. I really thought Chicago would be able to run the ball. Matt Forte had 145 yards in this game. He just came in and got it done. Tampa Bay looked decent. Josh Freeman had 264 throwing the ball. But you know what? At the end of the day, Chicago just did enough to win the game. There was a couple injuries by Tampa Bay. Gerald McCoy had a foot injury. He sat. That was pretty much all that, Chicago really needed because they was just running the ball so hard and Chicago was just ridiculous. Jay Cutler had a pretty decent game as well. Chicago just got the job done. Carolina at Washington. I took Carolina. They got me another win. Steve Smith, Cam Newton just have some sort of connection. Steve Smith had 143 yards in this game and they were just bombing. Hightower had 88 yards for Washington. He tore his ACL in this game, so he's done for the season. Washington's just falling apart at the seams. John Beck had 279 yards throwing, but Washington's offense was sputtering. Also, Santana Moss broke his hand. He plays for Washington. He broke his hand, so he's probably done for 5 to 7 weeks. So who knows what's going on in Washington. But again, the wheels are falling off. They're starting to lose players left and right. So, I took Carolina, got myself a win. Atlanta, Detroit, I took Atlanta. That got me a win. Atlanta won 23-16. Matt Ryan just had a day. 218 yards. I thought Atlanta would be able to run the ball against Detroit, and they did pretty well. Turner had 122 yards. They just got the job done. There's a lot of drama in this game between Unbiased and the Falcons offensive line. Matt Ryan ankles got stepped on from one of his offensive tackles. The injury looked a lot worse than I guess it actually was. They said Unbiased was standing over him, shouting obscenities and saying, get the cart out here for him and yelling at him, cursing, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of guys that took offense to it. Whatever. A lot of people calling Unbiased dirty. I don't think he's all that dirty. But, I'm not actually playing against Unbiased, so maybe he's actually, doing what people actually saying he's doing, poking him in the eyes and grabbing him around their necks and all kind of crazy stuff. But it doesn't really matter. Atlanta got the win. Things are looking bad for Detroit. They've lost 2 in a row. In that game, also, Matt Stafford ended up getting hit. He walked out with a boot. This is not looking good for Detroit. You guys got to get on the scale, especially with Matt Stafford being down, possibly for the next couple of weeks with a boot on. Again, he's injured for another year. Detroit, let's pull it together. Comment, guys. Comment, you Detroit fans. Let me know. Are you scared? Next game, Cleveland at Seattle. I took Cleveland. This game was horrible. Cleveland ended up winning 6-3, but it was just a boring game to watch. There was no points. There wasn't much going on. McCoy had 178 yards throwing, but you know what? Cleveland, 6-3. Come on. Next game we're going to talk about is Denver at Miami. I took Miami. And I was looking pretty good up until the fourth quarter when Miami pretty much gave up a 15-point lead. Denver, Tim Tebow just decided he wanted to play in the last 5 minutes. The fourth quarter, scored 15 points straight. Miami allowed it. And went into OT, kicked the field goal. Boom, Denver wins. Miami, I came out with 2 things from this game. Number one, Tim Tebow's a bad quarterback. And I don't care what people say to me or how they comment in the inbox or how, a lot of people, a lot of people hit me in my inbox about Tim Tebow. And a lot of people also comment about Tim Tebow, telling me that how great they think Tim Tebow is and how he's awesome and he's the savior and he has a halo and he's God's child and blah. Look, I do not care. Tim Tebow is horrible. He overthrew Decker. The guy was wide open. wide open, and he missed him. He's also missed a couple other throws this season. Not this season, but in that game, that I just said, what? Anytime I see Tim Tebow, I see two things. I see a lack of arm strength, and I also see a lack of accuracy. And that's just not going to work for me. It's just not going to work for me. Tim Tebow is built like a fullback. He thinks he's going to run people over. As a quarterback in this league, you can't do that. You can't do that. I want you to try to run over a Lance Briggs. I want you to try to run over a Ray Lewis. I want you to try to run over, a healthy Eric Berry. I want you to try to run over guys that hit. No, Tim Tebow, that's not going to work. That's not going to work in this league, and it's not going to work for the Broncos. But I tell you what, Tim Tebow finds ways to win, and he found a way to win. Second thing I came away with is that Miami, you're garbage. This is just bad. Sage Rosenfeld. He has a blood illness, so he's not going to be playing for the rest of the year possibly. So you go out, you sign J.P. Lossman. J.P. Lossman might actually be starting next week. You just signed him. This quarterback situation in Miami, oh man, it's bad. And let me tell you, the team, oh man, it's worse. You gave up a 15-point lead to Tim Tebow and the Broncos in Miami. And the only reason half the fans showed up is because Tim Tebow was playing, because it was, they held a little special day for him. I tell you what, Miami, things not going your way. Next game, Houston at Tennessee. I took Tennessee. Boy, was I stupid. Houston blew the gym doors off this place. Foster had such a big day. He had 115 yards rushing, and he also had 119 yards receiving. Matt Schaub had 296 yards throwing, and at some point, if I'm in Tennessee, if I'm a coordinator or a player, I'm saying to myself, you know what? I'm thinking, this is how I think. This is what I do when I think. I say, self, I play for the Tennessee Titans. I'm seeing that Foster is having a big day here. Self, let's find a way to stop Foster. It seems like nobody did. And the fact that Tennessee only put 7 points up at home, you've got to be killing me. You've got to be you're killing me, Tennessee. You got to be kidding me. You're killing me. Come on. And they just got blown out. So I took a loss in that game because I took Tennessee. Kansas City at Oakland. I took Oakland. Boy, was that another bad pick. Kansas City ended up winning. I took a loss. Kansas City won 28-0. Oakland's offense looked just out of sync, and it should have been out of sync. Kyle Bowler's horrible. He came in through 3 picks. Carson Palmer actually ended up coming in because nobody wanted to see any more of Bowler. He came in. He threw 3 picks. A lot of pick sixes in this game from Oakland. That's the main reason why Kansas City was up early. Derek McFadden ended up hurting his foot early in the game in the first quarter. He was done, so he didn't play for the rest of the game. Things just looked really bad in Oakland. Matt Castle had 161 yards throwing, but you know what? Kansas City offense really didn't look all that good. They just got tons of opportunities because of the interceptions. So Kansas City wins that game. Wins that game. Oakland, you've got to step it up. Pittsburgh at Arizona. I took Pittsburgh. They dominated Arizona 32-20. Ben Roethlisberger had 361 yards throwing. And Mike Wallace had 118 yards receiving, and one total just breakout play where he burned a corner and a safety and stiffed both of them, just ran into the end zone. So Pittsburgh just took care of business. And I won that game because I took Pittsburgh. Green Bay at Minnesota, I took Green Bay. That was another win for me. Green Bay won 33-27. Rodgers had 335 yards throwing. Green Bay just came in and got the job done. But I tell you what, Adrian Peterson had a big game, 175 yards rushing, and let me tell you, when Adrian Peterson breaks away, it is one of the scariest things I've seen in my life, because he is running so hard and so physical, and he looks like he's so violent that if you dare get in his way, he's going to kill you. He's going to run you over. Did anyone get the license plate number of that truck? And he's going to kill you. Christian Ponder looked decent, but he just wasn't going to get the job done. He had a couple decent drives, but it was nothing. It was just not enough. Dallas at St. Louis. Dallas got the job done. I took Dallas. Dallas beat him 34-7. Bradford wasn't in the game. He was injured. AJ Feely started. He had 196 yards, but DeMarco Murray for the Dallas Cowboys had 253 yards rushing. He actually set the Cowboys franchise record. The Cowboys ran all over him, clearly. DeMarco Murray, 253 yards. And they just beat them. St. Louis just is no good. I'm moving forward. New Orleans at Indianapolis. 62-7. I took New Orleans, and boy, did I win. You know, Drew Brees had 325 yards throwing. Mark Ingram had 91 yards rushing. Colston had 98 yards catching. I mean, New Orleans just killed them. Just absolutely destroyed them. I said in my last video that New Orleans was going to have a big day, but I really didn't think they were going to do this to them. They absolutely, it was just a blowout. It was just a blowout, kids. I mean, Indy just was not ready for this buzzsaw, and they just got taken care of. I'm not trying to, Colts fans, please comment. Let me know what you guys think, because, oh, God, man. I mean, it was bad, man. It was bad. 62 points is the most that's ever been allowed by the Colts in franchise history. Peyton Manning, please hurry back. If I'm a Colts fan, I'm writing him letters. Please, we need you right now. We need you, Peyton. Please, we need you. I'm just saying. I am just saying. But I'm not here to embarrass the Colts or the Colts fans. I'm just saying 62 points. Whew. And New Orleans turned down the offense. They keyed it down. They could have scored a lot more than that. They had a whole fourth quarter. They could have scored a lot more than that. Jacksonville at Baltimore. I took Baltimore, and this was an L. Baltimore's offense is just horrible. Jacksonville won the game 12-7. It wasn't like a ton of points. Blaine Gabbert looked decent. He only had 98 yards throwing. Maurice Jones-Drew fumbled on the first two drives that they had. But Baltimore's offense just looked so out of sync, and it looked so bad. It just looked so bad. So bad. Terrell Suggs had a couple comments after the game talking about how the offense basically, he didn't know what the game plan was. He just basically pretty much threw the offense under the bus. Maurice Jones-Drew had 105 yards rushing, but you know what? There's just no excuse for Baltimore to lose this game to Jacksonville. There's just no excuse. No excuse. No excuse. The offense looked trash. Everything else looked trash in Baltimore outside the defense. I don't know who's coaching. Cam Cameron is coaching the offense of the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, what's going on? What's going on there in Baltimore? I don't know. But as usual, guys, that takes the week. I ended up being 9-4, lost a couple games. As always, guys, this is Jets TV. But before I cut out, I am going to talk about the New York Jets versus the San Diego Chargers. We came back in this game. We got the job done. Jets win 27-21. Phillip Rivers had 179 yards. But the big stat of today is Sean Green had 112 yards rushing. Let me tell you, that helped our offense and it helped boost us. Plexico Burress had 4 touchdowns. He's turning into that red zone threat that I was hoping that he would be when we first picked him up. You know, we had a couple problems in the first half covering Antonio Gates. Malcolm Floyd had a really nice catch against Antonio Cromartie. Who else? But guys just made plays. Revis had 2 picks this game. And guys was just getting the job done. Just getting the job done. We came back in the second half. We roared back. We were down 21-10. And we did what was necessary to win this game. So we had a big win this week against the Chargers. And we did what was necessary. So guys, as always, please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Please hit me. I answer every single comment. As always, this is Jets TV here on Jets Central. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, guys, as usual. Peace. See you when I see you.